We rank anything and everything, trivial or deep. No matter what the outcome is, we promise that you'll weep.
Tears of Joy.
Hello and welcome to Tears of Joy, the podcast where we rank anything and everything. This week, we're talking about pasta. But first, we've been gone.
We've been gone.
We took 2 months, approximately,
for healing and
to sort out our
personal
affairs.
growth. Yeah.
How have you spent the time?
I've spent the time doing a whole lot of theater.
Theater.
I was in She Kills Monsters.
She does.
In the winter. And then I'm now in Newsies in the spring at Sycamore High School, April 2nd, 3rd, 4th.
You can't be giving away your true identity on the internet, Andre.
I mean, like...
They're gonna come eat you.
I mean, they can. That's fine. I've been waiting for it.
I feel that.
Yeah. But yeah, it's been a busy time. It's been a very busy time.
That's good.
But now, we're back.
We're back and better than ever.
True, actually.
The reviews are in. New York Times, they're back and better than ever. They said that. There's the headlines on the front. It said they're back and better than ever. Tears of Joy.
You have more information about this than I do.
I wanted it to be a surprise live on air. It's not live.
I had a very underwhelming reaction then. Sorry.
Okay. We're doing pasta today.
We are ranking not pasta dishes,
Right.
but the actual
the noodles.
pasta noodles themselves. And I'm very excited because I have a pasta passion, one could say.
Wow, you could say that.
I adore pasta. You're so unimpressed.
I was like,
okay.
wow, he's so...
I just genuinely love pasta.
You know how there's people, their like whole personality is like their food.
Oh my gosh, guys, pizza is my bae. And The Office, by the way.
This is fam. Oh my god. I will literally... Okay, but see, I'm like this though, because I identify so strongly.
BoJack Horseman.
I was about to say macaroni and cheese, because that's what we're talking about today.
I thought you were going to say you identify so strongly with BoJack Horseman.
I do identify very strong with BoJack Horseman. The show, not the character. Kind of the character, but not so much
more
lately. Yeah. Anyways.
You love macaroni and cheese.
I do love macaroni and cheese, so let's just start off with a bang. Macaroni!
You're really not going to like me after this, Charles.
What?
So, I'm going to start here. I know you love macaroni.
I'm so nervous.
I'm not going to say my ranking straight out, because it's subject to change, of course. Mm-hmm. But when I think mac, I associate it with ampersand cheese.
Mm-hmm. I love mac ampersand cheese.
And I'm not the biggest fan of mac ampersand cheese. Mm-hmm. One could say I don't like mac ampersand cheese.
One could say that.
Because I just don't eat it. When I do eat it, I'm just not a fan of melted cheese. And this is going to sound dumb. Specifically, a more eloquent way of saying it is, I enjoy mozzarella cheese, and most other cheeses, I say, stay out of my life. Because if a cheese is dominating a dish, I don't want to have that dish. If I'm having like gorgonzola, that's not my thing.
You're really just coming out anti-cheese.
Yes, and that's not really okay. I'm not saying cheese is bad. I'm saying I personally am unable to share the joys of cheese with other people. Mm-hmm. Like if you were to give me a block of cheddar cheese and be like, "Hey, have this," I would not enjoy that. Mm-hmm. And I feel like mac and cheese really leans a lot on the ampersand cheese, right?
Right.
So since I associate it so strongly with that, I'm less inclined to enjoy the mac.
Right.
And I also feel like, I guess this is just a hipster type thing, but I feel like mac and cheese is a very overrated thing. It's like, oh my gosh, mac and cheese is so good. I'm always gonna get mac and cheese. And I just I have an inability to share the joy of that.
This is kind of a tangent.
Oh.
At UC, they have these little like grab and go lunch things, and they have these ones where it's like cheese and fruit and bread, but it's like 50% cheese, and then there's like 6 grapes and like 4 pieces of bread.
See, for me,
and so
give me 20 grapes.
I just spend so much time eating the cheese, and I'm like, God, I don't want to eat any more of this cheese.
It's a metaphor for America.
But
somewhere in there.
Eating too much cheese. Anyways, I'm a big fan of ampersand cheese, as I believe most people are. I'm giving macaroni A tier. But it's not about the ampersand cheese. It's about the macaroni. It's about the mac. And mac is just, I like, first, elbows. It's called elbows. You don't see a lot of things named after body parts.
And that's actually one of the reasons I like it less.
What? You don't want to eat some bows? Some elbows?
Bows are fine, but
Elbs?
Charles, I think that I think what we're learning here is that you're more inclined to enjoy something that leans toward cannibalism than I am. I'm not intrigued by being like, ooh, I'm gonna eat some human
Well,
eyes.
okay, it depends
I'm gonna
on-
have some human elbows.
Don't take this out of context. It depends on the human. It depends on the body part that I'm eating for my can. Because I'll eat some elbows all day long, man.
It depends on the human.
It depends on the human. Depends on the body part. I'm not gonna eat like macaroni shaped feet. That's just gross. Nothing about feet is appetizing, but some elbows,
Macaroni.
some knees.
Macaroni shaped feet? Is that what you said?
Yeah. I mean,
You're not gonna eat someone's foot if it looks like a little tube.
I meant feet shaped macaroni.
That
You know they
makes
have
much
shape. You
more
know they have
sense.
shaped mac ampersand cheese. Like the Star Wars shaped mac ampersand cheese.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I am gonna be honest, Charles. I put macaroni in D tier.
God.
Right off the bat. Because
Oh man.
I think that it is. You can change my mind on this potentially, but I think that the hollow shape is a good start. But it's just kind of small. The fact that I associate it so strongly with the ampersand cheese makes me less inclined to enjoy it. I think
guess.
other pastas are much better than macaroni.
Just brutal. You're gonna get assassinated. Someone's gonna hear this and they're gonna be like, "That's not me saying I'm gonna assassinate you." By
That
the way.
definitely seemed like that
kind of
was for
sounded
you.
like a threat. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying that someone's probably going to assassinate you at 7 p.m.
I just mean-
tomorrow, but don't know who it's going to be.
in America, you can't say things like "I don't like cheese" or.
And that's the thing. I don't not like cheese. I just think that if you, I only really enjoy cheese as a component of another meal. If it's like American cheese on a sandwich and I don't even notice that it's there, then it's fine. But I don't want.
You don't want
think,
just bread and
Yum,
cheese.
I'm eating cheese. I don't want to have bread and cheese. I want it to be a component of something else.
Sure.
And I feel like macaroni, because it's so reliant on the ampersand cheese,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have its. You don't have someone like, oh, would you like to have some macaroni and meatballs at this restaurant? Like that's not a thing. That's not a thing people have. And I just think that it's an underwhelming.
Macaroni and meatballs would be a good band name. That'd be really
my
cool.
gosh.
That'd be a good
Oh
like
my
yeah. You
God.
forgot about the band names. No, that'd be a cool like like a kids band. Macaroni and meatballs, spaghetti getty, get ready for spaghetti, booby doo. Spaghetti getty,
Meatballs,
get ready for
meatballs,
spaghetti, dooby doo.
meatballs, meatballs. D. Moving on.
Next up, I'm gonna do fettuccine. This whole episode, I'm sorry, I have to try so hard to not do a bad Italian accent on any of these.
This whole episode, Charles is apologetic.
I don't want to be racist against Italian people, and
But
I'm just afraid I'm going to be. Like I'll be like, yeah, today we're talking about fettuccine. Oh no,
oh my God.
oh god.
So we're gonna stop there. Fettuccine, good. You know what I associate fettuccine with? Fettuccine Alfredo, and that is a good dish. That's a high quality dish. And fettuccine, it's a little bit wide.
Do you think that's named after a guy named Alfred?
You know,
Or do you think Alfred's named after the sauce?
I was gonna be mad at you and be like, "You're so dumb." Of course it's not. But like, I have no idea.
It's Alfredo.
What?
It's just some dude named Alfredo
If
came up
you're-
with the
If you're
sauce.
an Italian who's listening to this and you have any knowledge of the history of the word Alfredo, please just inform
Do you remember
us.
in Ratatouille when
Very
they had the main character and they named him Linguini Alfredo? Like, doesn't that feel like
I haven't seen this movie
doesn't
in a
that
while.
feel like a microaggression against Italian?
You're telling me the guy with curly hair is named Linguini?
Yeah.
I only remember Remy. That's like the only character I remember from that movie. He was who stuck with me, and I relate to him on a personal level, as a fellow.
Oh no, my bad. He's Alfredo Linguini.
Oh, also, by the way, if anyone is currently thinking about watching Ratatouille or anything involving Ratatouille, please listen to Le Festin, which is the big Ratatouille song. It's an absolute banger. It's a French song. It's beautiful.
Ratatouille
every lyric to it.
is great.
It is. But you know what else is great? Fettuccine. That's why I put it in B tier. I think it's thick. It's not thick, but it's wide, and it has a comfortable... I don't know, just the way you can look in a bowl of fettuccine and you can be like, man, it's got a cool like amount of layers to it, but I know how much I have left because each noodle has some significance to it. It's got some substance. And fettuccine alfredo is just delicious. So.
I put it at C tier.
And I understand that.
My issue with fettuccine is that it's just a little too thick. I always feel like whenever I get fettuccine, there's like those two noodles that are like stuck together.
Are you
that aren't
referring
cooked
to
all the way through.
width or thickness?
Thickness, not width.
Okay,
I don't have an issue with the width because
I
I like
imagine
the flat noodle idea.
Linguine is one that is fettuccine, but a little bit thinner in terms of its width and a little bit like a little more bulky.
I'm not into that.
Gotcha.
I don't want it. I don't like my pasta undercooked. That's a trend you're gonna see on the Charles.
Do you mean undercooked or do you mean al dente?
I mean undercooked.
So you don't mean al dente?
No, I don't mean al dente. I mean undercooked. That's upsetting.
Okay. But you know what al dente is, right? You know.
Yeah, to the bite. It's like you got a little bite to it.
It's a little bit of a
It's just it's the inconsistency that bothers me.
Okay.
It's when everything is one cooked through and then the fettuccine is. Oh, sorry.
You were so. I wish you could see the look on his face. He's so disappointed. Okay. So you said C, and I
did say C. Next up, we're gonna do lasagna. Lasagna. So this is about the pasta and not the dish.
Ooh. I always will judge the pasta though based on what I associate with it in my brain.
Right. I'm giving lasagna A tier though.
Ooh.
I love the idea, like even outside of the context of lasagna dish, is getting some lasagna noodles and just oiling them up and just like slurping them all in. Like, can you just imagine that? Just like like fruit by the foot, like that, but with lasagna.
Okay, guys.
Pasta by the pound.
If you're listening to this, I just want you to know, my brother is Garfield. Not sure if you were. Oh my god!
That's me eating lasagna.
Pookie, is there some I can't do a Garfield impression. Oh my gosh, it's such a disgusting.
Al dente.
Oh my gosh. Wow, that was not where I was expecting that to go. Have you ever had lasagna, the noodle, agnostic of the actual dish itself? You have?
Because
when and why?
Mom always says to make one more noodle than you need in case one of them breaks.
That's a saying in life.
Mom always says to make one more noodle than you need. Mom always says make one more noodle than you need. Guaranteed. Yeah. When did this turn into a musical podcast?
Wasn't a planned bit.
This is like the third time we've had a random song in the middle of an episode, and we've had two this episode.
Don't look at me. You're the one who started singing.
That's fair. Yeah, Mom always says to make one more than you need in case one breaks, and if one doesn't break, then you just got a noodle slurp.
That is actually such a great song. Gosh, please stop.
Lasagna. Anyways.
I put lasagna in B. Mm-hmm. I think the novelty of it gives it an edge. I think that the dish itself is a beautiful, beautiful creation. But if you were to ask me what kind of pasta I wanted, I'm not gonna want a lasagna noodle simply because I don't have the same slurp ability that you do as a person.
Sure.
And I think that I don't
Well, you could learn. You could practice. I didn't just get good at slurping overnight.
Yeah. So we're just gonna.
It takes hard work.
We're just gonna step right past that, and we're just gonna segue on to the next point, which completely ignores what you were saying, which is that I think that if I just had a big rectangle of pasta, that's not like if I were to eat it as if it were spaghetti, fettuccine, whatever else. It just doesn't have the same ability to just easily eat it. You have to really cut it up in little pieces. And that accessibility brings it down for me. But I do think it's a good
pasta. It's not a bad pasta. No one thinks lasagna is a bad pasta.
I hope not.
Next up, we're going to do penne.
Gosh darn it. Yeah, I love that you're so I don't think it's offensive for you to try to use an Italian accent to say the pasta names.
I'm not trying. It just happens. I was built like this.
I didn't want to do it.
God.
I just started to say the thing. I think penne is a good pasta. I really do. I respect penne on a personal level. it is constructed in such a manner that it has ridges on the exterior. It's got that nice aperture perfectly sized to allow for a little bit of sauce to percolate through it and have a great saturated, saucy kind of feeling. And it's just satisfying. You can stab through it with the fork very easily and construct your bites effectively. I give penne A tier. I think it's a solid pasta. I don't see a reason why one would dislike penne. It's a little bit like long, but I enjoy it very much, and I think it can go with a lot of different types of sauces and other aspects of that pasta dish.
My issue with penne is that I always have a hard time.
So can you say the name of the pasta?
My issue with penne.
Penne, not penne.
No.
Oh, okay.
My issue with penne is that I have a hard time stabbing with my fork.
You're bad at stabbing.
It's just, I feel like it slides around the bowl. Like you go to push the fork down, and as you push it down, all the penne just kind of slides out of the way. Like it doesn't get stabbed as easily as you want it to.
Okay.
Also, I'm trying to stab like 4 or 5 at a time, and I can only get like
this
one.
This is exactly why we're having this problem. So, also, if we think of the...
I would just eat it with my hands if I didn't care about getting my hands messy. Like, it would just be faster.
This is the fundamental difference between us as a person. If you had the penne, are you stabbing it with the fork at a 90-degree angle to the long side, or like... Okay, yeah. So I was concerned for a second you were trying to stab it so that the prongs of the fork would all hit noodle and like go along the length of it, and that would be very hard. Yeah, cause some slippage. I think I, as a slower eater than you, am completely comfortable having a 2 penne fork, and you, as someone who desires a fork that has a higher quantity of penne, are less satisfied with pasta as a whole. But I can take 2 penne, marinara sauce, cut off a little bit of a meatball, eat that, have a very satisfying bite.
So you get like macaroni, for example. I don't need to stab it. I can scoop that. I can just scoop that right into my gob.
I'm not a big scooper. I'm
a big scooper. I want to maximize that pasta intake. So
you love like SpaghettiOs.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said. How are SpaghettiOs? They're always like wet. Like I know they're in the sauce, but they're like wet in addition to being in the sauce. SpaghettiOs are F tier. We're not ranking SpaghettiOs, but they're just bad. Every time I got SpaghettiOs, I wanted the meatball ones because the meatballs were good and everything else was bad, but the meatballs made it manageable. Anyways,
I gotta be honest, SpaghettiOs are also F tier for me if they existed.
But that's not the freaking point. Penne is just a little too big. Like spaghetti's long enough, I can swirl it around the old fuerco and then spoon it in. Fuerco's not a word, by the way. Puerco means pork in Spanish, so one might think puerco means fork, but it doesn't. It's nonsense.
Beautiful.
Anyways, I put penne at B tier. Next up, let's do spaghetti.
Okay. Now, this is going to be one where I get some potential heat, like the boiling water that leads to a nice cooked spaghetti noodle. I'm not a big fan of spaghetti on the pasta spectrum. I don't think spaghetti is bad. I think it would be absurd to say spaghetti is bad, especially because in my association brain, I think of it as spaghetti and meatballs. Spaghetti is like the classic pasta.
Spaghetti ampersand meatballs.
That's, of course, sorry. I didn't mean to besmirch the good name of the ampersand.
I love ampersand.
I love it. But I think of spaghetti, and I am just bad at twirling it. And not only am I bad at twirling it, but through the process of twirling, sauce enters the air in tiny droplets.
What?
It flies around and it hits things and it gets off your brain.
How are you swirling this pasta?
I might be swirling this pasta a little aggressively maybe, or I'm trying to... So do you have like a swirling spoon that you use? Because I know that's
no,
a thing that exists.
I guess just...
You
I don't know. I don't think about it. I just do it.
I put my fork in and I like kind of pick it up out of the bowl. Then I twirl it from there.
Oh, yeah, no. You do it in the bowl. You don't pick it up out of the bowl. That's so much work.
No.
You just put it in, you spin it, and then you... Because then there's no... Because it's going to flail around.
No way.
So I've just been eating spaghetti wrong. It's A tier. Everyone thinks spaghetti's A tier.
Okay, so I
A for ampersand.
Legitimately, when I go to like Skyline, if I try to swirl my little Oh, by the way, Skyline.
You don't
Skyline chili is a
swirl.
Cincinnati thing. You get some chili.
That's
and
true.
Some,
You don't swirl Skyline spaghetti though. You're supposed to cut it.
yes, and that I've started doing that ever since. I mean, it's been years since I started cutting my Skyline chili pasta. But if I were to swirl that gets stuff everywhere, right?
Right. Yeah. No, that's your problem. It's your.
Yeah, but I guess, regardless of that, even if you were to twirl it or cut it, it's a little more leg work than the other pasta requires. Not literal work with your legs, but more of a figurative use of the term leg work. Where it's just
Right. Thank you
have to
for
do more.
clarifying
Thank
that
you.
because I was briefly confused.
Yeah, you gotta put a little more. Wow, I just completely. You gotta put a little bit more elbow grease in because of the.
Oh, I love elbows. Yeah. No.
Are you okay?
I just
Good?
laugh like
Hey, Charles, you
I just
good?
laugh like Joker from the 2019 Joker movie. He's like, actually, I'm not going to do it again.
Okay,
I was
yeah,
going to do a
it's fine.
second
No, that's
impression,
good.
and I was
That's
like,
good.
you know what? Oftentimes people do it a second time, and it's like that's too much. You can just
Your
do the
best
one
laugh
impression.
is the Toyman laugh, though. Man, I love
Right.
your Toyman laugh so much.
And that's the end of that conversation.
You sure you don't want to? You sure don't want to do it?
No, we'll save it for later.
Anyway, I think spaghetti's C tier. Not because it's not good.
Wow!
Because no. C is not bad. C is not bad.
Oh
What
my
is-
gosh!
What?
I just am floored. I
C-
am gobsmacked. I am flabbergasted.
C
Gadzooks!
C is the face of pasta, and it is an average pasta. I think that, admittedly, this ranking is absolutely skewed by my apparent inability to swirl spaghetti properly.
So
So.
on our ranking system, it's FDC BAS. So C is slightly below average. You know what I mean? So you can either say it's above the median line or below the median line. I don't know why I did it in reverse order, by the way, but that was pretty cool that I could just do that. I could
the
just
way I think of it is A, B, C, D, F are the real rankings, and then S is it transcends it.
Sure. Okay.
And in my worldview, I think spaghetti is C tier, potentially B tier, but I'm keeping it C. I think that if I swirled
C and a half, maybe.
yes, if I swirled it correctly and learned how to actually do that, then it would probably be B.
Gotcha.
But it's a little inconvenient, you know.
Let's do rotini.
Now, rotini is just a fun pasta.
It's so fun.
just a cool guy.
I love it in my mouth. I love how it feels. It's got a good mouthfeel. Not all these pastas have a great mouthfeel. Rotini is so fun.
And for anyone who doesn't recall off the top of their head what rotini is just a twirly, beautiful
Swirly.
spring in pasta form.
It's fantastic.
And so, as a result of that fun, it immediately gets bumped up. Also, those little like swirly things make it pretty easy for the fork to grip it. This is also a staple of pasta salads, the multicolored rotini potentially.
Right.
And all that just gives a really fun vibe to rotini.
It's so fun.
And so I gotta put it in A. I really do.
Right, yeah.
I think it's just there's nothing really bad you can say about rotini. It's a good guy.
I'm putting in S. Rotini might be my favorite pasta.
Wow.
To the point that when I now buy mac ampersand cheese, it's rotini ampersand cheese. I always get the Spiral Boys.
Okay. I respect that. My one potential point of not criticism, but the one thing that keeps rotini from S tier to me is that it's a little bit like it doesn't have a whole lot of like oomph to it or substance to it. It's got the fun, but like the thickness of the pasta itself is kind of thin.
I prefer
For
that.
anyone, yeah, that's fair. For anyone who knows cavatappi, that is a pasta that has, and rigatoni, those pastas that have real like substance to them, some girth, some real like.
I just now I'm imagining two people like eating pasta at a fancy restaurant. Like this pasta's got some girth to it.
I'm really. I apologize.
Some really girthy cavatappi.
I'm really sorry that I put that image in your mind, Charles, because that's a horrible thing that no
can
one.
you taste the
no
girth in
one
this-
should ever have the displeasure
pasta?
of. You know what?
Or just silence and then someone takes a bite and they go.
I'm just never gonna use the word girth again. It's just not a. It's not a word that.
Now I'm just imagining girth in like cursive on an Italian menu.
Why are you imagining?
Here's our pasta and here's
Oh
the girth.
God!
Cavatappi.
gosh.
Rigatoni. No! No!
The Italian accent is Charles's demon. It enters his heart and it percolates around until it just finds a way to get out of his system by the word rigatoni.
What just happened to you?
Sorry, I was reenacting.
What did you do to my brother?
I was reenacting what happens to you when you get the Italian accent demon, and it has to find a way out of your body, so it just speaks. Anyway, routine. On that note, routine is A tier. It's a little bit of a. It's a little bit like weak. It's a little bit youthful, but that youthful energy is exactly why it's so good. But that's for me why it stays out of S tier.
Bow tie pasta time.
This is one where I know it's going to be a little divisive for the two of us because I am probably the world's biggest fan of bow tie pasta.
Nani?
You know this.
Is
Don't
it?
pretend you don't know this.
Okay, just real quick, just sidebar. Is nani? Is that like the same Italian thing with Japanese, or am I just saying?
I think it is,
but because I'm not saying it in the accent. I'm just saying nani.
Yeah, it's not the same thing.
Like a squeaky young kid.
Yeah, that's
all I am.
That's just a Charlesism.
Nani.
Anyway, bow tie pasta. So I love bow tie pasta. One, it's got the rotini fun factor, but like even more almost because like. It's bow ties. It's got this formal vibe to it, but it's got some nice crinkles on the edges, and it's got a whole shape to it, and it's called. I mean, I think the true name for it is farfalle. I don't know exactly, but it is like the fact that it's called bow tie pasta. It's just a fun little thing. You know, it's just a fun thing. Also, the center of the bow tie, where the true knot of it would be, if you have forks that are shaped right, which ours are, they perfectly encapsulate that part of the bow tie pasta. So putting your fork around that knot perfectly is a game. And if you get it to like notch in between two prongs of the fork, it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful situation. Fun pasta, fun eating it. It's perfect to construct your bites, but I'm someone who apportions my meals. I don't have like all of my pasta and then all of my peas and then all of my bread or whatever.
You're very much a construction eater.
Exactly. I want to have a little bit of the bow tie pasta and a little bit of meatball, and then it's peas and bread, and have it all in one bite, and it's a beautiful melody of these different flavors. So I put bow tie pasta in the S tier.
I put bow tie pasta in D tier. I'm not a big fan of bow tie pasta. So there's so many things. First of all, it's so flat.
Oh my god! You can't just say that, Charles. You can't just say that bow tie pasta is flat.
I don't like how it feels in my mouth. That's the biggest thing.
It's mouthfeel?
I don't like the mouthfeel. It feels like it's just too flat, and it's like dense kind of, and I don't like it. And you can't really stab it super easily. Like you were saying, it fits perfectly in there. But this is the thing. When I shovel this, it feels gross. Like I can shovel rotini and it's like, I'm eating a spoonful of rotini. I shovel bow tie pasta and I feel like I'm eating like soup with some bow ties on the top.
This is the issue, Charles. You should be a grave digger and not a pasta eater if you want to shovel so much.
What?
I don't know. I don't know where that came from.
It was what?
It was the anger.
Okay, but I'm not eating dirt. You were just saying
allegedly.
If you want to shovel so much, then dig a grave and then eat just crumbs the dirt.
Not what I meant. I just meant that eating, you're supposed to stab things with your fork. Eating is not supposed to be an experience where you can use the verb shoveling.
I am using... Okay, first of all...
Bow tie pasta is too formal for you, is what I'm saying. It's too official. You're trying to shovel it in when
didn't you say bow tie pasta was fun?
Yeah,
I just used air quotes, by the way. Just real quick. Audience, I used air quotes for fun because I don't think it's fun. Just so sidebar. Okay.
Oh, gosh. But no, it can be formal and fun at the same time, you know?
When you eat Star Wars macaroni ampersand cheese, it's got a little
say that
face.
As if I have ever eaten.
No, I'm just saying
it's got the royal.
It's got a nice little texture. It's got a little, holes in it to craft the shape correctly.
Crafted the shape.
And I like how that feels in my mouth. Bow tie pasta is just a flat boy, and I'm not a fan.
You're not gonna move it even up to like C tier. Because let me tell you, Charles,
if you gave me
bow tie pasta is not flat because it has the beautiful ridge in the tie in the center,
I know, but
which is where you can put your fork to truly unleash the power.
The crinkles add to the density of it. Okay. So there's no, like if it was,
girth, you could say.
It's so girthy, and that's what I hate about it.
It's girthy.
This is your word.
You're telling me bow tie pasta is girthy and flat at the same time. I'm so sorry for anyone who like this is their trigger word, like girth. You know what I mean?
Like how some people moist. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Satiated.
I'd like to apologize for anyone who just heard that and like is really in a bad place right now. I'm just gonna reset your palate by saying al dente.
Al dente. Oh no! That's it. That's the Italian voice.
The Italian demon.
The Italian demon. He just al dente. Oh, I got wait, that's not Italian. Okay, no.
S.
Really?
Bow tie pasta.
Yeah. Okay.
S tier.
D. Next up is ravioli. I don't like ravioli a whole lot either.
Okay.
Ravioli has my same qualms as bow tie.
I love that word.
And it adds a thing in the middle. I don't want a thing in my pasta. I want the thing outside the pasta.
You know what? That's fair. Do you have an anecdote? I feel like you have an anecdote for why you don't like ravioli.
Oh yeah. One time I was like in first grade and I was eating ravioli at my grandma's house. And I was eating gingerbread.
You're so dejected.
And
I was eating gingerbread man at my grandparents'
I
house.
had a bad belly.
What does that mean?
It was so bad.
What?
It was the worst
You
belly.
can't say I had a bad belly.
I had such a bad belly.
Oh gosh.
And I barfed it up. And now I can't eat. I can eat ravioli now.
Charles, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. You're a great storyteller. That was the worst you've ever told me anything in your
There's
entire
no.
life.
You
never
said
said the word ravioli. You said you were at your grandparents' house and
yeah.
you were eating a gingerbread man, and then
But
you had a bad belly, and then you barfed up your bad belly.
I did. I barfed it up. I barfed. Why am I talking like a furry? No, okay. I need to get back on track and use my normal person voice. Charles, use your normal
Oh gosh, he broke.
person voice.
Okay.
No, so I just
Oh my gosh. You're malfunctioning.
ravioli. I threw. It's not okay. The reason I told the story badly is because it's not like a big story for me. Because not a lot happened. I just threw up the ravioli, and now I don't like the taste of it as much. But I didn't really like it even before I disliked the taste.
Interesting.
So now it's just compounded to be bad in my mouth. I'm putting it a D tier. I would probably put it at F tier, but I don't feel like as a concept I dislike it.
It's just in practice it doesn't live up to what it should be.
Every time I try it, I'm like, maybe I'll like ravioli this time, and I never do.
Understandable. Ravioli for me is a B tier pasta. And the reason for that,
You sound like you're giving a graduation speech.
let me tell you, students and faculty, ravioli is a B tier pasta. And you may be wondering why it's a B tier pasta, why not a C or a D or an F or an A. But let me tell you right here today, ravioli has got the power. It's got compact stuff inside, and it takes an hour or so to make. Woo! All you gotta do is boil up the water and make it a little hotter than you thought it was supposed to be.
Oh yeah!
And you put it on in, and inside of it you got another layer.
I love ravioli!
Another layer to the flavor. And it's got other stuff on the inside. And on the exterior, it's got some... I was gonna say girth, I shouldn't say girth. It's got some real...
Girth! Oh, I love girth! I love girth! Yeah, girthy pasta! I love girth on my pasta!
You became half Kermit and half... Okay, anyway.
Hi-ho, Girthy the frog here!
Oh gosh,
Why are my legs so
this
thick?
this is the worst character that has ever existed.
Hi-ho! My arms are so thick I can't put wristbands on.
My graduation speech got interrupted by Girthy the Frog, but the bottom line is...
That'd be a great t-shirt.
You're telling me a great... This is the new band name thing. You're telling me a great t-shirt would be my graduation speech got interrupted by Girthy the Frog?
That has a picture of
You want
Girthy
that?
Kermit on there with just like thick
It's
arms.
disgusting on so many levels. But ravioli is B-tier pasta because it is efficient. It has the true pasta exterior, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I guess it varies in size depending on where you're getting it from. If we're talking like really big ravioli, that's not as appealing to me. But if it is like a little ravioli boy, I respect ravioli on a personal level because it takes it's like a camel, you know? It stores its nutrients in the hump. And I think it's the novelty of that.
The camel of pasta.
Yes, and the novelty of that I think is noteworthy. So I give it a B.
Right. Yeah, it's a girthy hump, so I'm giving it a D. Next up is Angel Hair. S tier. Angel Hair is the best pasta there is. It's nice and thin. I love it in my mouth. I love the texture. I love all the little noodles. I love having it inside of my taste buds. Not inside. That's not how taste buds work. It's on top of them. And I just love that. Angel Hair is good. Angel Hair is great. Angel Hair is the thing I want to eat every day.
I don't agree. Angel Hair is fine.
Really?
Angel Hair is good. But so you saw me put pasta or spaghetti in C tier, right? And Charles was kind of floored by this. What I was ruminating about before filming the podcast here was that I don't know if Angel Hair for me is better or worse than just natural spaghetti. Angel Hair, for those who aren't really familiar with it, it's just spaghetti with like
thinner.
It's just spaghetti with like
less girth. There's no girth. I hate girthy pasta, and this doesn't have any of it. Angel Hair, because angels don't have any girth. Angels are just sticks.
I'm so mad that you're
sticks with hair that's made of pasta.
I think Angel Hair.
I'm not saying like they're like skinny people. I'm saying they're literally sticks. Like they don't have any human body standards.
Yes. Can you make a case for Angel Hair so that I can move it up from C tier with normal spaghetti to where it belongs in your mind?
So. It's
also
easier
I bet if I twirled it better.
It's easier to twirl than spaghetti is. It because there's so much surface area. It sticks to itself, and because it's so thin, so when you twirl it up, you get more of it, and it's a nicer bite. Mouthfeel is just better. Minis are always better. Mini M&Ms. This is spaghetti is M&Ms. Angel Hair is mini M&Ms.
Okay. For anyone who if you were listening to this right now and you are inexperienced in the wonderful world of mini M&Ms, please go to whatever local store is closest to you and search tirelessly for mini M&Ms. Don't sleep. Don't breathe. Don't drink any water until you have found mini M&Ms. Get them. If you want to get normal M&Ms, get those too so you can really compare the two. But I can assure you, getting mini M&Ms will be one of the best decisions you've made this week. It's really a good thing, and it is objectively better than M&Ms. If you do, actually, please comment if you have a strong opinion in this debate, because this is another kind of meta debate.
Yeah, we don't care about this pasta thing. It's really all about the mini M&Ms versus the big pasta. Wait, no, not
mini M&Ms or big pasta.
I think Angel Hair's. I think. If not changing it from C tier now, have an open mind to improve your Angel Hair status.
If you change your mind, I'm the first in line. Honey, I'm still free. Take a chance on me.
Take a chance on me.
It's an ABBA song.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. I'm gonna say, how do Angel Hair and fettuccine compare in your mind? I'm curious.
Fettuccine is everything. Fettuccine is the antithesis of Angel Hair to me.
Really?
Fettuccine
How so?
Is girthy and fettuccine doesn't twirl well because it doesn't really stick to itself super well, except when it's like cooking. So you try and twirl it up and you only get like one noodle, and it just doesn't like, at least in my experience, it always falls apart quicker, whereas the Angel Hair works out very nicely. Now I don't hate fettuccine. I like fettuccine. Right. I like all pastas.
That's the thing, yeah.
Except for bow tie and
except for SpaghettiOs.
Ravioli.
SpaghettiOs don't count.
They're not even
society.
on the
You know what? Based on what you've just said, and also the fact that it's called Angel Hair Pasta, which is probably the dopest name of any pasta on this list.
Yep.
The idea that it is so heavenly, like it's the same vibe as Angel Food Cake, where simply because of the name, it has to be better than any other thing. I'm gonna put it in A, and just because I respect it. I respect angel.
Sure,
I don't
sure,
know why
sure.
my arguments for so many of these.
Yeah,
is that
you're
I
very
respect them.
respect-oriented with your pasta.
It's because I value pasta a lot in my life, and I think that it deserves respect. So I want to treat it the way it deserves to be treated.
Right.
Yeah, thin. If I twirl it properly, I'm sure it would be very good. And I think it's just got a certain je ne sais quoi. It's got a certain magic to it as a result of that heavenliness. So,
Right.
Angel Hair's A. I like it.
That's good. I guess that's the end. We can do a rundown of our things. F tier. It wasn't on here, but we added, I guess, SpaghettiOs. D tier for me is bow tie and ravioli. C tier is fettuccine. B tier is penne. A tier is spaghetti and lasagna. Oh, and macaroni. And S tier is rotini and angel hair.
My D tier was macaroni. My C tier was spaghetti. My B tier included fettuccine and lasagna and ravioli. My A tier included penne, rotini, and angel hair. And my S tier pasta was bow tie, also known as farfalle. And now, I think we're just about ready to be done. So, thank you all for listening to this episode of Tears of Joy. If you disagree with our lists, please let us know in the comments down below, unless you believe that SpaghettiOs deserve any place that is not F tier, or if you prefer M&Ms over mini M&Ms. But thank you very much for listening, and we will see you next time.
You'd think SpaghettiOs would be girthier based on how much I hate.
Oh my gosh.